Hey everyone, welcome to this Sunday, April 23rd, I believe, of 2023. It is amazing how fast time is going, isn't it? Though I look forward to summer, I never want to wish my year away so fast. I am here today with you in an energy of gratefulness. I feel very grateful for having opportunities that I've had, for having the ability to do these readings and be a spiritual guide, a spiritual coach. It is my calling to be in service in this way, in this time in my path. And so today is I like to do readings that I call Sacred Sunday readings. And they don't have to be listened to on Sunday, but they are here for you during this time because it is when I like to connect spiritually to my divine creator, to my guides. I and there's no wrong time to connect, guys. I connect every morning before I get up out of bed, and connect before I get ready for the day. And it's important for me to stay in contact every day with my higher self too, but with my higher calling, with my God, and to keep myself in check and balanced. And let me tell you, life, it can throw some curveballs. And sometimes when that happens, we have to make sure that we are aligned energetically, spiritually, to help us through certain situations because, let's face it, we all have them from time to time. And as I was telling my cousin yesterday on Facebook, experiences are, she made some post and it reminded me of how I always feel about experiences in our path, and it is very telling that experiences are stepping stones to forward movement, learning from those, not looking back, not going back, knowing that whatever you went through was brought you to a place where you're stronger, and now you know how to deal with certain situations. Trust me, in personal, a lot of my experiences are interpersonal with people, and it's like they're lined up. And so when I have these experiences with people, whatever it is, friends, family, coworkers, whatever, it's always something that I learn along the way. It's like the universe throws someone in our path to challenge us to, certain things. For me, along the way, certain people, certain things, situations, has opened my eyes to how do I deal with this person? How do I deal with this situation? And in some cases, actually leaving that situation, leaving behind that friendship or whatever it was because it was too toxic. In other situations, it's okay, now I know, I understand. I know how to deal with that kind of personality or whatever. Pardon me while I sip, because I do get very dry mouth when I'm doing a reading. It's because of all the energy coming through. So before we begin, and I'm sorry that I've been talking now for 4 minutes, but I'm going with whatever I feel is right for this day, for this message, and for whatever time frame you're listening. So let's take a moment to breathe and clear the energy, making room for this message, making room for love in your heart for yourself, love for your divine creator, appreciation for every situation that has brought you this far, to this place, right here, right now. Thank you, Spirit, for this message. So, guys, I think what I feel today is, on this Sacred Sunday, I feel animal energy today, and I feel that Spirit is talking to us about strength, okay? I'm just gonna show you the card right off the bat, because it did fall out as I was meditating and praying over this reading. We got the Bull, right? Feeling through this card into the energy of this amazing animal, amazing strength. It feels like Spirit is here to say, if I have to nudge you every day and remind you every day, I will, of the importance of acknowledging your own strength. Not just in situations that are horrible, not just, it feels like this energy, you need this right now. The world needs this right now. This strength, this power, this amazing energy of knowing. See, I feel like some of this power relates to knowing and knowledge of knowing that you are a blessed being of light, knowing that this energy is here to be shared with you, to remind you, to nudge you, so that you know you were never created to be weak. You were never created to be, I don't feel that we were created to be paupers, is what I'm hearing. I don't feel that we were created to beg, even though if we need to, we need to. But I feel as if this energy that is being gifted to us in this time is of utmost importance right now. Let me tell you, it feels like something comes rushing in with this energy of strength and knowing and owning your own power, right? Knowing, using the tools that you have learned from other experiences to deal with something in your life right now. I do feel that some of you are going through some things, challenges, and it's funny because every year, on the last day of the year, I always say, I know this is going to be an even better year coming up. I know this, and I feel it. And Spirit says, yeah, you're human too. So along the way, you're going to experience some things. You might check your bank account and go, oops, I should have paid more attention. Or things like that. Or it could be, whatever happens along your path, in your path. The experiences that we've gone through have they're building blocks, stepping stones to strength and power and knowledge. I keep hearing knowledge. So using the tools that we have gained along the way, understanding people better or knowing how to navigate through a situation, knowing that we have the energy to change the environment around us, to change the energy around us, is what I'm saying. You know how they always say metal can attract lightning and it might strike there? I don't know how true that is. But it feels like for the ability we have to change the energy around us is sort of like that. It's like you can be a magnet. Your energy can be a magnet to good, to promote goodness, and just being in stillness for a moment and envisioning your energy that is good and light kind of permeating around where you are. And so it feels very much like this bull energy is here to say, I'm going to blast through whatever has held me back, because I want something new and different in my life. I want a different approach to how I feel about money, or I want a different outlook on how I feel about my own light and being able to manifest miracles in your life, because you are a miracle. So wouldn't miracles attract miracles? That's what makes sense to me. And what makes sense to me is that this energy is sort of pushing us to acknowledge our strength coming into our own, so we can move forward to something new. Okay? It feels, this is funny because when I envision a bull, bulls, most people envision them as aggressive. You know, they'll dig their foot into the ground and stomp and things like that as a defense mechanism, as if to say, you don't want to mess with me. Okay? And they're also known for having a short temper. I feel like this energy is an aggressive one, not in the way that is mean or, I'm gonna beat you up or something. It's not like that. The energy that's here with this bull is an energy of, I'm done messing around. I want something good for me and my family. I want something better in my life. And so I'm going to attract that, whatever that is, and move forward into a better energy for my home, for my family, for myself. I'm thinking to not long ago when there was I think they called it the Great Resignation, when a lot of people discovered how much they were missing out at home, and they resigned from their corporate jobs. And so there was it was a mass exodus of people at different corporations deciding that they want something better for themselves. And it was almost alarming how many people quit their jobs. And God bless all of them, because when you go out on faith like that, I always say have something lined up. I do. But sometimes you are led to do something, and that energy is so strong that you just know it's right. Okay? And I feel like you have to know before you do something like that. You just have to know and believe and have enough faith that what you're leaving behind and what you're going towards is validated in all ways. Okay? Now, granted, some people did regret it when they left their jobs. About a year later or two, they regretted it. But I feel like that is fear coming through, and maybe something didn't turn out the way that they thought it would. But it's important to persevere and to know your strength and to know that something better awaits, right? So I do want to also, I think I showed you that, right? The Divine Animal Oracle card deck, and we may visit that again one more time, but I am certain that the bull is the main energy source here for all of us. It feels very, very much like Spirit is saying this energy that comes rushing in is, how do I say this? It is necessary in this time for us to acknowledge that so we can move forward on our path to something more fulfilling, more satisfying, that has something that has more longevity. It feels very much like Spirit is saying, are you present in your current situation, whatever you're going through, guys? I feel for a lot of you it could be financial, it could be career, maybe you aren't being paid enough, maybe it's not what you thought it would be, or maybe you don't align with it anymore. Maybe your energy feels like it's not aligned with the circumstances, with the environment you're in, right? And I do feel for a lot of you like there are circumstances, things that happen that disappoint you, or things that stress you out. And I feel like it feels very much like it's like a battle with this energy, because I feel like past conditioning, which some experiences have shaped us to believe in a certain way. For instance, I use this example a lot. When I was growing up, my father believed, truly and sincerely believed, that you don't need to make more money than you need. You need to have one pair of pants and 2 shirts and you're good. That was my dad, okay? And so growing up, listening to that, watching that, experiencing that in my life, in my childhood, I thought, oh, so what happens if you make more money, and you're awarded with more money? And my father would say, and this is my father, not me, but he would say, money is evil, so you don't want too much of it. And it was that kind of mentality that brought me to a place where, I'm going to be real with you, I'm just going to say this, my mom liked to spend money, but my father didn't want her to spend more money than she needed. And so my mom used to try to hide things. If she bought something, she would try to hide it. She got caught because she fudged the checkbook and he figured it out. But that's what I learned growing up. And I went through that for a while. I was afraid to, when I bought something, I was afraid to kind of take it out of the bag in front of anyone. I would hide it. And then I would, hide it in my closet or whatever, take the tags off. And then eventually I would, if it was clothing, I would put it on. It was all from past conditioning, learning from my mother. God bless her, and she didn't mean anything by it. But she wanted things, and she felt as if she wanted something, she would get it, but she would hide it so he wouldn't find out. Granted, that's not the healthiest way to do it, but that's what I learned. It's conditioning. So I tell you that because I am using the map cards here, right? So on our journey, we experience things that keep us in one mindset and keeps us stagnated from our growth or from moving forward. And so when I opened the deck, I looked on the bottom of the deck this time. I did shuffle, but this card did fall out twice. So here we are with the Bone Collector. The Bone Collector is, it's a reminder of bones are, how do I say this? I believe I'm right when I say that when human beings pass, bones are the only thing that are still intact. If you are exhumed years later, whatever, people would, they would see that your bones are still intact. I that's at least that's what I think I remember learning about that. But so this reminds me, this card is, it feels as if no matter what, everything else, all the circumstances, all the situations, all the pain that we've endured, or anger, past hurts, past traumas, our bones, it's like our bones that can stay with us forever, right? Unless we work on removing those things that have haunted us or hurt us or held us back. Unless we work on removing those, they will stay with us for as long as we are here on this plane. So what Spirit is saying with this Bone Collector is, when the Bone Collector is here, it is an energy that is asking you to look closely at your circumstances, to see if you are fully present. Do you see the full picture, or are you stuck in past traumas? I'm going to tell you this. I have a fear. I have a fear when someone raises their voice, or they get angry, or they get vocal in a negative way, and it's not positive. If someone starts yelling, or an argument ensues, or something like that, it triggers me. And I just have this enormous, I just want to react, not unrationally, but it's that kind of fear that wells up inside of me. It is from past conditioning, from growing up, with my father having a bad temper and yelling and things like that. And as recent as yesterday, when someone got upset, they weren't yelling, they weren't even yelling, they were upset about something that was valid. I went into this spiral where I was like, oh God, I don't like this. I don't like this. I can't. I'm mad. I'm angry because this person's angry. And it took me a little bit to finally calm down. And when I did, it kind of was right in my face that this is from past traumas, from my father being the way he was, from a past relationship being the way he was. And so I said this out loud to my partner. I said, I can't, I said, I'm sorry the way I reacted, because I was he wasn't angry at me even. Something happened. He had some damage on his vehicle, and long story, I don't want to get into it, but it was like that. He was upset because there was some damage on his vehicle from somebody. So I just naturally got really uptight. And I said to him afterwards, after I calmed down, I said, I'm sorry that I snapped. I said, but this is a trigger for me. When someone gets upset, more than normal, they're, like, oh my God, what happened here? That kind of thing. It triggers something inside of me. And I said, I'm acknowledging it openly to you to let you know that. I want to change that. And so I'm working on it. I acknowledge it. That's the first step, to acknowledge something that needs work, right? And so I believe this bone collector here is bringing forth that energy to say, don't let this stay with you forever. This is not how you were meant to be. Experiences along the way are meant to teach you, to you learn from them, not to hang on to what was in the past, but to let go. This is what I believe when we talk about new beginnings, new paths, new something. It's not always about something huge like moving out of your home or getting a new job. Sometimes it's huge in regards to your inner workings. A new freedom from fear of something, from trauma. Some of you might need a professional to help you through this. And I highly encourage it if you can find a therapist to help you through it. But also in conjunction with that, work on praying and meditating and doing something, some moments to yourself to pray for strength, pray for calling on your own power and your strength to heal you from this, right? But also if you need a therapist, get a therapist. That's what I'm saying. So I just want to say that it feels like a lot of these things start in our childhood. And guys, I'm not trying to be psychology 101 here. I'm just going by what I feel here. Okay, I'm not a professional, I'm going to say that. But it feels like a lot of us have gone through things as a child. And when we're wounded, especially as a child, it feels like something is stolen from us, right? We adapt and we accept a version of the truth, right? We adapt and we know we're triggered by, okay, if this happens, then, if my father's angry or someone's raising their voice, I'm going to naturally be scared, or I'm going to hide, or I'm going to whatever. And so it feels like this energy is trying to tell us it's time to remove all of that. It's time to work on that so you can have a blessed forward movement, a blessed change. Changes in your finances. I'm convinced, guys, that when you go through cycles of the same thing happen over and over again with your finances, something has to change, right? And so that's what this feels like. It feels like this energy is here to kind of expose. It's like when you get an x-ray, your bones are exposed. You could see the outline of your skeletal, your body. So it's like all of those feelings of negativity are being exposed. The feelings of trauma or the triggers that bring you to a place where you don't like to be, but you're familiar with it. It's that type of energy that's here to say, time to address this. You have so much potential to move forward in an energy of, it's almost like, how do I say this? It's sort of like not Aries, I'm sorry. Oh my God, Naomi, why can't you remember this? It's an air sign, Aquarius. Aquarius energy that comes in to kind of lighten your load. Kind of be free and frolic through the flowers rather than walk on coals and not burn your feet. But it's one of those energies where it's like your spirit, your soul is telling you it's time. It's time to recognize certain things that hold you back. It's time to move forward. And so this energy that's here with us today is for our good. Okay? I want to see what other, you know what? I want to see who's with us today as far as our angels and what they have to say. And because guys, this is not a path that we're meant to go alone. Our guides are with us all the time. So listen, Archangel Ariel says, prosperity is with you. You needn't go through this alone, but know that blessings of abundance come in as you acknowledge and work on things that have to be extricated from your life, right? From your path. She's saying your material needs are provided as you follow your intuition and you manifest your dreams into reality. So this is what I'm saying. It feels like Spirit is saying this energy of that's old, right? Those old bones. How do I say this? Those bones are forever, but they, pardon me, because there's a lot coming in right now and it's hard to put it into words. It's more like feelings, if you know what I mean. It feels like what was in the past has to stay in the past. It does feel very much like your angels are right here with you to catch you, okay? In fact, Archangel Jeremiel, everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings that you will soon understand. And so our angels are telling us it's just as natural as breathing when you work on yourself, your inner self, when you work on what needs to leave you, okay? For me, it's that trigger of fear when I hear voices raised. It's like I get this, it almost feels like something, like a shiver going up my spine. It's just that intense for me. And so I know that I need to work on that because that is not present now. It's in the past. It's interesting because when there's certain energies around, and I don't know if we're in a retrograde. I thought we were, but sometimes you can go, that can expose things and bring things forward that were from the past, right? That's why in retrograde, sometimes people from your past come back. It's like something that's from the past, something, it's kind of, it could be a slowdown, it could be something, a regression or something like that, or feel like that. But so there are certain times when I feel that trigger more, and I feel like it's during those times. But this message is meant to bring you to a realization that you not only have your strength and power to move through things, you have the support and the backing of your angels. I'm looking at the bottom of this map card, and it's the rescue card, guys. Look at this, rescue. Rescue. There is a something in place, a plan, a divine order, to move you out of a situation. And I'm telling you right now, if we ever are in situations where we literally can't handle it, because sometimes there are some really severe things that happen in our life, the universe will make a way to move that out of your life. I was suffering years ago from a really toxic person where I worked, and I kept getting signs. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation, or let go, those kinds of things, right? And I was ignoring them because I was like, okay, I get it. I'll have to move on, move away from this person, just do things to, whenever I heard her voice, I would get, it would trigger something because she was literally awful to me. She was awful. And so I would learn to put in my earbuds and listen to music so I wouldn't have to listen to her voice. Well, that's only a band-aid. And so the universe was trying to tell me, you don't belong here anymore. This is gonna get worse because this is not where you belong. And finally, it happened. I was let go of that job. And I'm not kidding, when I walked out of there, I felt such a relief to be gone. And I knew it was the right thing. So when we don't pay attention to signs and know that there's things we need to work on, the universe will make a way for us. It will be provided for you. When I left that day, on my very last day, I knew that I was going to have something, that I was going to be presented with an opportunity. I just had faith. And sure enough, I was. But this message is meant to inspire you, to motivate you, to move you, to look at certain things and know that they need to be healed, okay? We suppress them as human beings. We repress certain things that bring us pain or make us angry, or it was traumatic and we don't want to think about it, things like that. I do want to say one quick thing. So yesterday, my person was telling me that when his father died, his mother couldn't have anything in the house that reminded her of him. And at the time, he didn't understand it. And I said, listen, I still can't look at some of my son's stuff. 3 years later, I can't go through certain things. I can't look at certain pictures because it's painful. And so sometimes we put off things because it's painful. And there really, when it comes to grief, there is no rush to do all of that. But there's also the understanding that we have to move on. And so I said to him, maybe she needs to give it some time so she can have whatever was his around. And it won't hurt so much that he's gone. So everybody deals with it in their own way. I feel like Spirit is trying to say, while nobody likes to deal with pain, it is a part of our life sometimes. Not that we choose it, but it's part of our life. And it's in those times when we need to find our strength and know that everything is going to be okay. Just as Archangel Michael says, I'm protecting you against lower energies and guarding you and your loved ones and your home. And so I feel like all of this energy today is lending itself to us to remind us, you're not in this alone. Whatever it is you're going through, you're not. You have the help of your angels. You have the universe on your side. The universe will give us whatever energy we put out there. So if we change that energy, that outlook, that perspective on whatever it is, money, negative self-thoughts, feelings of selflessness, low self-esteem, feeling unworthy, I grew up around a father that nothing was good enough. I had 3 sisters, and we would do our chores, and we would be so afraid because if it wasn't good enough, we experienced the wrath of my father's disapproval. And so there would be a price to pay if something wasn't done right. And so there's a lot of that past energy that still lingers within me. And I'm learning and growing along with all of you. But I'm saying that this is a really sensitive time for things to come forward. Lately, I have been triggered a lot more. And I'm thinking, wait, I'm still dedicated to my service. I'm still dedicated to my time with my guides, with God. Why am I being triggered with this right now? Why? And it really is about getting us to that place so we can move on and move forward and finally let go. I see that card all the time. Let go, let go, let go. And I'm always thinking, why? Of what? I've let go of this, I've let go of that. No, there's something more. Something internal from, and my feeling for a lot of you is from childhood. Could be from a traumatic relationship you were in, a marriage, a boyfriend-girlfriend thing, whatever it was, that left you feeling worthless. Unfortunately, there are people out there that are very narcissistic and people that don't realize the damage they cause to other people because of their personality. And so sometimes we get entangled with those personality types and it damages us. But if you think about it, you could be the victorious person here if you think about it in that way. This is a battle between me and that person. Who's going to win this? Battles are won by starting with inner strength, right? And it feels like that's what this energy is here today for all of us, to remind us, to tell us. Don't you dare lay down in your path and accept a life of unhappiness, unpleasantness, lower income right now. Don't you dare accept that this is part of your life forever, because it's not meant to be that way. We are beings of light. As above, so below. I feel like this card that says Magic Prayer is all about us being magical beings of light, powerful beings of light, knowing that we have the power to rise above. And the universe will gravitate to whatever. If you're in a negative and you're constantly feeling as if life's got you down, nothing makes a difference, it's going to stay this way forever. The universe is like, okay, if that's your energy, then that's what you're going to, that's what's going to be given to you. Or your magic prayer could be, you've always taken care of me, universe. This is what I always say to the universe. You've always taken care of me, and I know you will again. And I'm thankful in advance for everything that comes my way, that helps me on my path, that brings in a joy, a stability, a forward movement in prosperity, abundance, love. And it's very, very important that you are appreciative of everything that you want right? Everything that's good now, but everything that's to come. Because what you envision, it's on this sort of like this is how I envision it, like a checklist. And the universe is like, she's ready, check. She's very appreciative, check marks. And it's sort of like, okay, let's move on this now. She's ready. Or he. And so I feel like this message here about and I think Archangel Michael wants us to know, don't forget that you're safe. Okay, you're safe. But that magical prayer is what you're asking for, basically. I find myself being there are times when I'm discouraged, and I'll find myself going back to that sometimes. But then I remind myself, no. If something didn't work out, it was for a reason. And I am anxiously awaiting to see what that reason was. But I'm thankful. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. But I'm telling you right now, to shift your focus to the positive, to what do you want in your life, right? I want to pay off my mortgage so I have money in the bank. And trust me, I only have 5 more years, so I'm anxious. But what do you want? What do you want? What do you really want? Do you want a different career? Do you want to learn something new? Do you want to have a hobby or something that you love to do and that you're good at? I love art. I love painting. And yeah, I have to work on some things, but I would like to have my work out there. And in the right energy, more opportunities will come to you. But it has to be in the right energy. Like I always say, when you ask God for something or you ask the universe, don't ask in desperation. Be in a calm state and ask. And I always say, this is what I feel belongs with me, universe. And you can't have any doubts. You have to know this belongs with me. And the way to get that, like I said, is through moments in quiet to ask your guides for help. Help me clear this out. Show me the way. And they'll be right there for you. I feel like this message I'm going to close it out because I've been talking for a very long time. But I do feel that we are meant to be stronger with each experience, with each and every stepping stone along the way. We grow, right? Kind of like the Grinch who stole Christmas, right? The Grinch who, that's so funny that I said that and this card pops out. Humanity and benevolence. But it's like the Grinch's heart was, you could barely see it. And then as along the way, he started changing and his heart was growing. And so that's us. We've been a flicker and we're becoming a flame or an inferno. And that's us growing. Okay? I am going to close this out, and I wish you all a very beautiful day and days ahead. And I apologize because this past week has been crazy busy and I haven't had an opportunity to come in and do a reading for you. I'm going to do, after this reading is over, I'm going to do a reading about the energy We'll see what Spirit wants me to do a reading for. It could be a pick a card. It could be a, what to expect in the next amount of time. It could be, we'll see what it is. Sometimes it's a 48 hours. Sometimes it's 6 months. But I know a lot of people are interested in their future, what's going to happen, right? They're looking for a sign. And so I feel that this week will be a little more active in doing those kinds of messages, okay? I will do the best I can for all of you. Love and light to you all, and have a blessed, beautiful day. Until next time, namaste.